What's up, folks? We're back. we're talking this time about the Marvel Phase 3 stuff. Um, I don't know. I'll let you start. I kind of don't really. I didn't have much to say. I'm just happy that they're doing this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, basically they just confirmed all the shit we pretty much already knew they were gonna do. You know?
Yeah. But the main thing is the Black Panther.
Yeah.
They're going to do a Black Panther movie. We knew they were going to do it. We knew there was going to be... We had an idea of who they were going to get to play it. But the freaking costume looks amazing.
You have no complaints with the costume.
Yeah, it looks like the first Marvel Legends, the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Black Panther. Except all the things that were gold are silver.
Mm-hmm.
And I dig it.
Yeah, I even dig how the gloves have the lines,
yeah,
like how
yeah.
the old costume, how the original costume used to.
Yeah.
But it looks so much better on this concept art.
Yep.
Like even that mask, man, that mask is so dope.
Yeah, it is. It's really dope.
Oh yeah, if the
I know, sorry about that.
oh, it's all good. If the whole rest of the movie looks as good as the suit, then I will be greatly impressed. I mean, I have nothing that I have no actual critique because they just did everything right.
And this is the way they've been doing, which is funny because a lot of people you still have naysayers because they're fans of DC or whatever. Honestly, as I'm a fan of DC and I've told you I don't give a shit about whatever, DC is doing. I want to see it and I want to be impressed. I want them to show me something that makes me say, "Oh shit, they really did a good, good job," or they really, outdid. They exceeded my expectations as a fan. But I read both, so I don't give a shit about which one is better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
yeah, for all the people who keep saying yeah, Marvel, they're winning, they're shitting all over DC because I was like, this is just an announcement. Like the movies haven't even come out yet.
Yeah.
For you to be able to make that judgment, some of those movies might not. They could come out and just as well bomb. I mean,
yeah.
I hope not, but that possibility is there.
Yeah, it's very possible.
So people need to stop, bandwagoning and trying to fan the flames of
fanboy hatred.
Yeah, basically. And I know a lot of people were disappointed that there isn't going to be a Black Widow movie at this point in time. But and I like the Black Widow too in the movie. She's cool in the movies, but I think Captain Marvel's a much better choice.
Yeah.
You have to have like if you want to compare Marvel and DC's got Wonder Woman. You got to have, if you want to have a heavy hitter, that's a female, that's a powerful female that can be that female power fantasy for all the female comic book fans out there. Captain Marvel's that choice. So I can't wait to catch that when they do that movie too. Doctor Strange, I don't know. Some of these movies where they keep talking about how they're big risks or whatever. They're not a big risk if they handle it right. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was not a risk. I don't care what anybody says. I think some of that shit is to kind of hype the movie in a maybe, I don't know, in another way.
Well, since the fans are really good at being trained monkeys, well, a lot of the fans are good at being trained monkeys, and they say whatever they're told to say. It's kind of like if they tell you it's a risk, then you're going to repeat it.
Yeah.
They're like parrots. Oh, it's a risk. Oh my God, it's what does that mean to us, like as people watching the movie? Either it's going to be a good movie or it's going to be a bad movie. It's that simple. It's only if you think about the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe was a risk.
Yeah.
Because they picked all their when you think Marvel, X-Men and Spider-Man are always the first two things to come to mind for most people, and Marvel doesn't have them. So it was a risk. They were picking, B and C list characters and trying to push them to the mainstream. I mean, I never thought in my wildest dreams I would see an Inhumans movie.
Yeah, me neither.
The fuck? The Inhumans? Shit, the Guardians of the Galaxy, I never thought I would see a movie of them. So, there's a lot of things that I don't know. They're doing it and they're making it work.
The funny thing about that is, you see how they're taking these characters and making them household names.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why hasn't Marvel Comics, the comic book company, done this with their own characters?
Exactly.
You know, you still have, you know, some of those, you know, characters like Panther, or, you know, not so much Captain Marvel now because she's got her own book and they're really trying to push her to be A-list now. But before that, you know, even though some of those, you know, even though Miss Marvel books were, you know, before she became Captain Marvel, some of those books were written pretty well. She was leading her own team and shit. She still wasn't up there as far as, you know, characters that you considered like, okay, those are headlining characters. That's a headlining character. She still was not there yet. I just don't see how it works for the movies, but Marvel just can't find a way to make these characters work. You know, you wouldn't have had to have a Mighty Avengers if you had taken characters like Monica Rambeau or, you know, Luke Cage or Blue Marvel, and you had made them, you know, you had pushed, you know, and gave them interesting stories and gave them interesting character development to push them to be an A-list, you know, character in your books or headlining character. It's, if they can do this in a movie and make, you know, millions of dollars, then how come you can't do this and sell some comic books?
I know, and that's it's the medium of origin for all these characters. Yeah,
it should be easier to do that with the comic books than with the movies.
Yeah, because fans of comics in you know, printed comics, characters in a printed form are capable, or they have much more leeway with what you can get away with. You know, what fans will buy versus what fans will not buy. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, like Ultron. I was thinking about this the other night. Some of the Marvel characters, when you think about their comic book stories and the versions that you got in the comics, it was just like, God, this is ridiculous. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And then you watch the movie and they cut it. They do what the DC animated universe was doing with a lot of the comic book stories. They were trimming the fat to the umpteenth degree and making shit more plausible, you know? From costume and character designs to, like, who is responsible for stuff. You know what I mean? Like, Tony Stark creating Ultron. We knew it was going to happen.
I still think that's dumb.
And I think it's bogus, but, you know.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they went the direction that they're going with Ant-Man, as far as, like, who they casted as to play, you know, Hank Pym.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why they went that route. And it better be an interesting, I don't know, not explanation, but there better be an interesting reason why they did this. Because I don't see why they couldn't have just went the original route and just had him be a younger guy who eventually develops, you know, Ultron.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is find a way to, because since, you know, there's been 2 Ant-Men.
Yeah.
They're trying to... That sound you guys keep hearing is the chair. My farts are a lot more epic than that. But, yeah, they're trying to find a way to combine Scott Lang and Hank Pym without cutting one out of the picture, you know?
Well, why not just introduce Lang later?
Well, they're saying that, like, when Cap was a superhero, he inspired others.
Oh, I see.
And that's when Ant-Man showed up.
All right.
And when Cap first showed up, I guess, not when he was a superhero. So then
after he got frozen.
Yeah, well, yeah, after Cap got frozen, yeah, other people were like, shit, if Cap could do it, and then I could do something and help. And I guess probably he's gonna be tied to, like, old school SHIELD or something like that. But he was Ant-Man back then, and then Scott Lang shows up, steals the gear, and is Ant-Man in present time. So, I don't know. I think, like, it's just weird. Marvel's approach just seems to make more sense. They're like really taking advantage of their momentum and, like, you know, they're not dumbing shit down, and, like, characters are it's everything's more comedy driven for Marvel, you know, more so than, like, the dark, scary. I mean, Avengers 2 is pretty dark, and it seems like it's going to be kind of dark.
Yeah,
and scary
just from the trailer.
Yeah,
you know, who knows what the movie, because, you know, these trailers can be so misleading.
Yeah, but, like, you know, in general, like, most of the actors, they chose a lot of comedians. You know what I mean? A lot of And I've always said comedians make the best dramatic actors because they have like stupid dramatic range, because they don't care if they look like an idiot. They're trying to get the desired response.
Yeah.
But God, I hope I didn't lose my train of thought. They're taking chances with the casting, but they're smart chances. You know what I mean? They're making smart moves with who they cast.
Yeah.
And then the tones of the films are kind of. It's not morose. None of it is so dark and so like. It's not like the Dark Knight trilogy where you want to fucking kill yourself if you watch all three of them back to back. You know?
Actually, I like the direction they're taking with these films, because a lot of them are kind of genre films with superheroes in them. You know,
which is what the DC animated films were doing, like especially the showcase stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it that the animated folks, when Bruce Timm was involved, that shit made sense. As soon as he left, it all went to shit. Like, I can't wait to do the review on Throne of Atlantis. I can't wait, because that Spalding dude, was it Ethan Spalding?
Yeah. He's
the director, I think. Oh, man. He can direct some fight scenes and stuff, but man, story-wise, ugh. But anyway, back to Marvel. The approach that Marvel's taking is just like Bruce Timm and his team used to do with everything from Batman animated series to Superman animated series to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and then all the individual animated films that had a showcase piece on it. Like, I guess they were all collected in the Shazam, the Superman Shazam thing. Like, the Spectre had the Grindhouse feel to it, and it was a horror film. Your Green Arrow was just straight up action. I wouldn't even say comedy, because he was getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
What is it? Catwoman was all like sleazy noir-ish type shit. You know, it's smart, because all these characters come from different time periods, and you need to, like, you know, pay homage to that. You can't just ignore it. So yeah, they're doing their thing, and I'm kind of impressed that it worked. You know.
Yeah, I'm curious about how they're going to do Civil War, only because
they don't have that many heroes.
Yeah, that, and I didn't really care for that event. I know a lot of people liked it. I heard it was one of the 10 best events ever written or some shit, which I don't agree with, only because a lot of those characters had to act out of character in order for Civil War to work. Because, you know, for a long time, Stark was pretty anti-government, so then for him to be all of a sudden pro-government, and then they made him leading S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of whack.
Made him lead S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. It's like, he would never do that shit.
Yeah, and Spider-Man, like, I don't know how many times I've read in Spider-Man books where he's swinging through the city, or, you know, he's on a mission where he talks about how he has to protect his secret identity to protect the ones he loves, and then here comes Civil War. He calls a press conference to unmask himself in front of the entire world, and then is surprised that all the bad guys are going after his family, his Aunt May and Mary Jane. Like it's like, to me, that's stupid. And
well, that's why it's going to be better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what they do with it in the movies.
I think it's going to be more of the registering with S.H.I.E.L.D. or with the government or whatever, versus, you know, revealing your secret identity and shit like that, because the Avengers are public figures.
Yeah.
People know who they are. I mean, shit, I think at the end of Cap, freaking most of them were held on trial. Well, her and well, not Nick Fury.
Yeah, he was gone. He was Ghost.
I know, right?
He was a smart one.
Yeah, he was gone. But yeah, freaking Black Widow was on trial, so people know who she is.
Yeah.
They know who Steve Rogers is. Really, no one on the Avengers.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, no one on the Avengers has a secret identity. That's why it's more of the registration thing. That's at least is where I think it's gonna go. And I think that by the time we get to Cap 3, the Netflix stuff will be done, and you know, some of these other movies will have been out. You know, so there'll be a couple more, and they might introduce several heroes. Or I won't say several.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume, you know, Luke Cage and the Defenders basically are gonna end up in the cinematic universe.
Yeah, it's so strange the way they pulled that off, but I don't know.
Should have been Heroes for Hire.
But. Yeah, exactly. I'm mostly just geeked about the Black Panther.
Yeah.
And it's not because he's black. It's just because that's a whole region of the Marvel Universe that I never thought they would actually do. I didn't think they would go into detail with it. I didn't think they would touch it. And I didn't think they would treat it with the kind of respect that it looks like they're treating it, you know? Which is good. I'm also kind of excited about Doctor Strange, because I do like Doctor Strange. I used to always kind of lean more towards the Midnight Suns characters, and I dug like Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, you know, the freaking what were they called, the Night Stalkers, and there was another group called I can't remember. They had a book, and they were like mages and all this craziness. God, what were they called?
Shit, I can't.
I was gonna call them the Blood Pack, but I was like, no, it wasn't the Blood Pack. Those were the lame ass guys from Blade 2. God, I can't remember the name of that group. But anyway, you know, Doctor Strange kind of fits into that, and it would be cool if he kind of helps bring back the whole Midnight Suns idea, so that Marvel can, now that they own Blade and Ghost Rider and, you know, Punisher and all that shit, they could either do a Marvel Knights and mix in the Midnight Suns, or just redo it and do...
Yeah, I thought they were going to do a Blade movie.
That's what they said. They've said that, well,
maybe
there's
be
interest.
Phase 4?
There's interest in
interest.
one. Yeah.
Shit.
Well, Phase 4, Wesley Snipes will be in his 60s.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, they need to jump on that shit soon.
Yeah.
Or find a more than worthy successor.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't be Michael Jai White. He's almost the same age.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely can't be LL Cool J. Remember that bullshit? He's sitting there licking his lips like, I'm Blade. I'm Blade. one leather pant leg rolled up and shit. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no. Hell no. Definitely not Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, man.
Not do that shit again.
Jesus. A house of shit on. That's what I call it. I hated that show. It was
horrible. God, it was horrible.
The only thing that show did right was how they went into, like, the vampire families, and they spent all this time explaining all their background, and it was like Blade was like a secondary character in that series.
I know, in his own series.
I know, it's called Blade.
Yeah.
I think he just, and it's like Goyer was still mad at what Wesley Snipes did, so he couldn't get back at Wesley Snipes, but he could
get back at Blade.
Yeah.
We get back at this fictional character.
Yeah, man.
But it'd be nice, because I want to see Johnny Blaze and Dan Ketch. I don't give a shit about this new Ghost Rider that drives a car.
Are you serious? Oh yeah, that's
it's
right.
a female Ghost Rider. She drives a car.
She used to drive the bike. It was a crotch rocket bike, which I thought was all right.
Yeah. I want to see. They haven't done right by my two homies, freaking Johnny Blaze and Dan Ketch. I'm a bigger Dan Ketch fan, because that was the majority of what I was reading. I did have a ton of Johnny Blaze stuff, but that was before I even really understood the character. But I'd love to see them take that shit on. But still, as for what they gave us, getting a Captain Marvel film, a Doctor Strange film, an Inhumans film, Thor 3, Avengers 2, and Avengers 3, technically. Part 1 and then Part 2.
Yeah.
And then, a Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and it's just, man, Captain America, what is that, 3? Yeah. Like, that, it's going to be cool, though. It just seems like if you like superheroes, you're going to have a ton of shit to watch, you know? And Marvel's not doing a bad job, so it's kind of safe to say that the majority of those films are going to be good. I hope so, at least, Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just an announcement, so I can't really imagine like having a whole lot to talk about. Just stuff they just told us that's coming down the pipeline in like the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I will say though, on another note, maybe I should change the name of the video to just things, and then put we're gonna talk about Marvel Phase 3 and some other stuff.
Yeah.
I watched the first 3 episodes. I already told you I watched the first 3 episodes of The Flash, because I was just curious because one of my other friends, Glenn, he came by and he told me you should check it.
I heard it was good too.
I was like, all right, man, I'll check it out. I was like, it definitely won't be as goofy as the one we watched when we were kids in the, like, what was that, late 80s, early 90s. And it's not, but there's some cool things in there. I mean, like, freaking John Wesley Shipp plays Barry Allen's father. So it's kind of like, you know, them always finding a way to do the cinematic passing of the torch.
I heard even the chick is supposed to be in there at some point. I forgot her name. The one that was the
British
doctor.
Chick? Yeah. Huh. That'd be cool. The special effects are off the fucking chain. I was like, damn. I didn't think it was gonna be cool. Like, and it's weird because when he runs, the trail is the bright red and gold that it should be.
Yeah.
Like, there's gold in places, or yellow in places where he doesn't even have yellow on his costume when he's running, trailing behind him. But even with that, like, I don't like the costume at all. The costume, even the explanation for the costume is fucking stupid. It was developed for firefighters. And I was like, wait, so
running really fast.
So firefighters and being flame retardant and being frictionless, these are two different things.
Yeah.
So, it would have worked for the firefighters, but it doesn't quite work for the Flash, except for the fact that there's a helmet and I don't know. And the guy,
that's stupid.
When the guy's explaining it too, he's all into it and he's like, "Oh, it's got aerodynamic features." I'm like, "But they're fucking firefighters. Firefighters don't need to be aerodynamic." So clearly, you were building this hoping that someone with super speed was going to use it. Like, it's just dumb. It felt like a tacked on explanation, and anybody who's been reading comics for at least a little while, you should have more sense than that to just buy it wholesale. But I like the fact that finally they gave us a character that's not an anti-hero, and he's trying to be a good person because it's the right thing to do. He's not trying to be a good person because he fell on hard times and now he knows what it feels like. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's the genuine. I mean,
he still kind of did fall on hard times because his mom got murdered and they blamed it on his dad.
But
so.
that's
like, what drove him to want to do good.
Somewhat. What drove him to want to do good is that he found out that the same event that gave him his powers is what created all the villains. So it's like they pulled...
I'm just going off what they portrayed in the trailer. They portrayed in Arrow.
Oh, yeah, in Arrow, that's like it started out with his dad, like righting his dad's wrongs, and then it kind of flowed into the fact that all this time dude's been selfish and, just been a jerk. And finally he's like, now I need to do something, because him being a jerk and having control over so much of the city and having a say in how things work, or his family, I guess, having that kind of pull, he really wasn't, they weren't helping the city in any kind of way. But in this, it's more of like, he has powers because of this event, and those people, they got powers from the same event, but a lot of them are choosing to do the wrong thing. So
it's like the Big Bang. And,
I was just about to say that. It's exactly the milestone thing from Static. Yep. The particle accelerator explodes, and then you find out how all these characters are tied into it. It's pretty. That part is kind of cool because it also gives the characters a serious. The villains are more serious and less comedic. But I wanted that. Like, part of what made the Flash awesome in the older stories is that his rogues gallery is just, they kind of suck, and they know that, like, they by themselves they're only okay, but if they work together they're a little bit better. And it was one of the cooler things that we got in Justice League Unlimited, is the episodes that had them kind of bitching and moaning about what they're going through, and then the fact that now they need to hurry up and make some money, or like their wife is going to get on their case or something. Like, it felt like there was more character to these guys as opposed to the Freak of the Week formula that the show uses. Now, I'm not going to say the show is perfect. It's nowhere near fucking perfect. Not at all. It's not perfect. It's a good, entertaining show. But if you actually pay attention, it's kind of formulaic as fuck. I mean, it's the Freak of the Week formula. Dude has the same characters. You know how you have Diggle and Felicity and Arrow? He has his own little bunch of people who sit behind computer monitors, tell him what to do and shit like that. And like, you can see the formula being plugged into the Flash's universe. But then there's little twists and stuff, even down to like the girl who he likes that some kind of circumstance has her with someone else, and he's kind of like on the sideline like, shit, if only it was me. You know? It's the same shit. It's just...
It's the same as Arrow.
Yeah, it's just kind of tweaked. Even the beginning of the show. My name is Barry Allen. I'm the fastest man alive. I'm like, oh, God. And, like, he explains his situation and blah, blah, blah every second. And then at the end of an episode, you hear his monologue again. It's just like Arrow. But,
does it even end with that sting that Arrow has? Like, meow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when the title is kind of zooming in.
Yeah.
It does.
Are you serious?
It ends with a different, because his theme has like these running violins, and it starts doing that, and then you see the Flash, and it just kind of zooms in, on the title screen. I'm like, yeah, wow, yeah, the whole format feels like Arrow with a new character, plugged in. So, I guess for some people, they're not going to give a shit. For us, it's like kind of painful when you see them plug in a formula and then just change the main character, and change the location, blah, blah, blah. Because that's what TV shows have been doing for years. And to me, the ones that stand out are the ones that don't follow the formula. And it could have been better if they didn't follow the formula. But, whatever. Like Arrow, I got tired of Arrow because too much of the same shit was happening over and over and over. Now, people have told me that it gets better.
Yeah, it does get better.
But I can't stand...
That first season, halfway through that first season, it was a pain. It was
my
painful
God.
trying to get through it.
I hated the first season.
Yeah, it was
But
painful.
it was nowhere near as bad as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I still haven't gotten through... I've watched the first 6 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and in each of the newer episodes, I watched like the very beginning. And I was just like, I'm gonna
eventually try and watch it.
Yeah, someday I will too. I mean, I'm even going through Earth's Mightiest Heroes now, and I'm watching the second season all over again because I was insulted by their attempt at
the first season.
At the Secret Invasion. Like the first season was like, but then the whole Secret Invasion thing really pissed me off. I was like, are you serious? I'm supposed to believe that this is difficult for them to figure out what's going on, and it's painfully obvious. Cap Shield broke and it wasn't even a big plot point.
I thought they went to Wakanda to fix it.
Well, they did, but it was like a 1-2 type deal. Like today we don't have the shield, so we're gonna make the photon shield. Now we're gonna go to Wakanda and we're gonna fix the shield, and then there's the Black Panthers intro and all that stuff. And it's just like, really? It should have been a big deal, like in the movies where they're showing you, Ultron and Cap. Or the Avengers fighting Ultron, they lose and Ultron destroys Cap's shield. That's fucking symbolic, So things like that are what didn't work for me in, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But I'm going back and I'm watching stuff and I'm kind of appreciating a little bit more of it. It's still not on par with Justice League Unlimited.
I don't even try to compare shit anymore.
I'm just gonna say no. Because you're being no. You're being diplomatic. Because you don't want. I know you don't want to do the fanboy rage thing, and I'm not trying to do the fanboy rage thing. It's just I've heard people tell me that it's the same level of attention to detail, and the same level of writing, like skillful writing, and it's not even just conversationally. There's not one conversation that goes down, and all the downtime that they have in the mansion. Not one conversation goes down as natural as the ones that happen in Justice League.
Yeah, I'll say they did have one that I remember that stuck out to me, and that was after the Secret Invasion, and everybody hated Cap because it wasn't him. But he has this conversation with Spider-Man that was actually pretty good, about why he's keeps continuing doing what he's doing despite the fact that everybody hates him. No, actually, I think Spider-Man actually delivers the speech instead because, he's the one that is always getting hated on by, Jay Jonah and the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
So, it makes the whole city hate him. And, he goes on and explains to Cap, why he keeps continuing fighting the good fight. and it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that there's no good stuff in there. Yeah. It's a different level. It feels like, I stand by it. Earth's Mightiest Heroes was written for kids, whereas Justice League on the surface is for kids because it's bright. There's fights and there's cool stuff going on. But if you pay attention to what's being said and the complexity of the situations, it's clearly for adults. But anyway, I'm still watching it, and I'm still, still trying to see if they did some of those really cool storylines that I was reading when I was a kid. They did them justice. Like, I really dug the Kang stuff that they did. That was in the end of the first season, I think, right?
Yeah.
And that stuff was really cool. So we'll see. We'll see if it how it fares against other Marvel stuff. The other day we watched the Next Avengers, I think it was called.
With the little kids?
The little kids?
Yeah. I actually dug that.
It wasn't bad. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was weird, though, because where do they fall in any continuity? But it's its own thing.
Yeah. I always felt like if they were to do a series with that it would only exist in that little series.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I dug that whole little story. It was just the right tone. It was a little kiddie-ish, but they're kids, so that's what they were going for. But it still
was
had
bleak as fuck.
Yeah, it was.
God, it was bleak.
I know the Hulk not wanting to fight or do anything.
And then when he finally did go off, he just beat Ultron to a pulp. I was kind of like, wow, that's a lot. That's really a lot. I think that might have been where the cinematic universe started with, the Hulk being just ultimately super ridiculously powerful. And I'm getting tired of that, but whatever. That's what Marvel wants to do with the Hulk. Like, I can't wait to see him tear Tony Stark out of the Hulkbuster.
Man, I don't know if they'll even do that. Because they nerfed the fuck out of Thor.
Oh yeah, that's
because remember in Avengers, he hit Thor. Thor hit him. If it had been comic book Thor and he hit Iron Man with that hammer, that fight would have been done.
Yeah, it's true.
His armor would have been like falling to pieces.
Yeah.
He'd been knocked out of the armor.
Yeah, because Colossus could punch Iron Man. Ultimate Colossus could punch Ultimate Iron Man out of that giant suit of armor. So yeah, Thor could easily do the same thing. Even though I do remember, they did say that Ultimate Colossus was the strongest thing one of the strongest things in the Ultimate Universe.
Oh.
They said his power levels were just like his strength was like off the charts.
That was before they made him a drug addict.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Ultimates. Man, yeah. Ultimate Universe just ugh.
Yeah, even after Civil War, when Thor came back because he was dead.
He was pissed.
Yeah, he was angry.
He beat the shit out of Tony Stark.
Yeah, he hit him once, and the armor was like, "Yeah, we're at critical here. You need to retreat.
Home.
Yeah,
Tony, let's go home." Yeah, it's true, man. Like they did. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, and I'm a Thor fan. He's my favorite Avenger, and they definitely nerfed him. And it's funny because you saw him hit the Hulk, and he floored the Hulk.
Yeah.
But then he fought Iron Man, and he really couldn't do that kind of damage to Iron Man. It's like, yeah, stop. They're really making Iron Man, like, the money is fueling his powers, and it's kind of frustrating. Because it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, man. They don't want to piss off Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, Lord. Just imagine this. Captain America 3 is going to suck in that respect because you can see that they're going to everything's going to lean in favor of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I hope he's not in the movie a whole lot. Just because I want to see Cap and Falcon do their thing.
Well, I mean, there has to be the showdown.
Yeah, I know, and it has to lead into Civil War. I just hope they balance that shit out.
Yeah, me too.
Properly.
Me too. It'd be nice. What else did I check out? I watched The Monkey King. I told you about that. It was pretty bad. I mean, it was a good movie, but as far as martial arts movies go, it's not a martial arts movie. It's like all pure special effects. And then they get Donnie Yen to play him, and it's like, what was the point in having Donnie Yen, one of like the best martial artists we still have, and you have him playing the Monkey King and you don't even use him. But anyway, that was pretty, womp womp. I watched Black Dynamite, the whole series, up to the new stuff, second season stuff. I haven't even started.
Oh, this is the second season?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
It just started like a week or two ago, something like that. It's funny. It's not as funny as the movie, but it's pretty damn funny.
Yeah, that episode where he had to pay his taxes.
Oh yeah,
and the IRS was shooting him, was hunting him down.
Chasing him and stuff. Yeah, that was awesome. And that bastard Curtis.
Yeah. After we watched the episode, I accidentally fell asleep while I was watching it. He was like,
"Kill this motherfucker, please, 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 please." It was pretty damn funny, man. He said, get the money, bring me the money. The money.
The fucking Michael Jackson episode was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was like, I was dying when they did that shit.
Oh, man. Yeah, and all the animation when he would do his little poses and shoot stuff out of his eyes or his hands.
Shoot eye beams.
Yeah, man. The shit was good. It was really good. They're ruthless, though, when they make fun of stars, man.
Yeah, man.
Good God. And then most of the people they made fun of are dead, and they just had no respect for, like, Richard Pryor, no respect for, well, I guess little respect for Richard Pryor, for freaking Michael Jackson, for freaking Elvis, for freaking,
They even made fun of the Bonds.
Yeah, it's like, wow. God. Yeah, that shit was funny.
The race war.
The race war, yeah. It was like Cannonball Run /
Death Race.
Yeah, Death Race or Twisted Metal and shit. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a little much. It feels like towards the end of the first season, it was becoming an Adult Swim show.
Yeah.
Like the first couple episodes were kind of like offensive to some degree. But it was like, it started getting ridiculous towards the end of the first season. It's like, man, you guys are really trying to offend people. You could tell.
Yeah, with the player's ball on the Soul Train.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Captain Kangaroo Pimp.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And what was dude's name? What was Snoop Dogg's name?
I
with his
forgot.
MF Doom suit?
Yeah, I forgot.
God, that shit was funny.
There was some good lines in that one too.
Yeah.
The song, the Bruce Springsteen song, the spoof that said, "We're going to the players' ball." That shit had me cracking up.
Yeah, not Bruce Springsteen. Yeah. It's oh God, what's the guy's name?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I always thought it was Bruce Springsteen though.
No, it's that song.
Going to the players' ball.
Oh damn! God, it's the dude. He's in Vegas. He's like always performing in Vegas.
Oh, Bennett?
No, not Tony Bennett.
Shit.
I want to say Wayne Newton, but I don't think that's who it is. It's someone else. Anyway, you know the song when you hear it, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's just enough too, like
it's
just enough like instrumentation.
Yeah, so you know exactly what song it is, and it's kind of like in Boondocks when they had that flashback with Lionel Richie.
Oh yeah,
and he was humming that song.
Yeah, with what's that dude's name? The redheaded dude,
Wunsler.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about the actual artist.
Oh, Rick Astley.
Rick rolled.
Yeah.
No, there was no actual music. Lyrics.
It was just him humming,
vocalizing the tune.
Yeah, it was so.
That shit had me rolling.
Oh my God! Hello, yeah, this shit was quality. Yeah, the show's funny. How do I put it? There's still that part of me that would like them to do a comedy that's modern and has nothing to do with pimps, players, drug dealers, and bitches and hoes and blah blah blah, and the same old tired race jokes over and over and over. Because it's like, seriously, Boondocks. and Dave Chappelle killed that shit. You can't do it anymore. Freaking whatever that one dude's name was. God, what was the guy's name? Carlos Mencia, that used to rip a lot of Dave Chappelle's material, except he just flip it and put Spanish people, Hispanic people in there. Even he tried, and to me, he wasn't as funny because he was literally just ripping off shit that had already been said. So, and I know some people are going to go, well, Dave Chappelle's just saying shit that Richard Pryor used to say. And it's like, no, because his take on these things is different. And he points the shit out and he articulates it, you know. If anything, he's more similar. He's similar to another actor, another person who showed up in Black Dynamite was Paul Mooney.
Yeah.
That voice, though, man, I was like, that doesn't even sound like Paul Mooney. There were some things he said that did, but overall, it was just like, that's not Paul Mooney. Come on. But he was funny, though.
I know, he flew away at the end. I can't believe he actually, like, when I was like, man, I wonder if he really would have done this. Like, and then I was watching the commentary, and he had actually recorded all his dialogue. He came in the studio and recorded. Then they needed him to come back to re-record, and the schedules just didn't match up. So they had, I think they said it was Eddie Griffith, who recorded his lines and did his interpretation of Mooney.
Wow. That's quality, though. It's funny shit, though. I'll give him that. Fiendish Dr. Wu's Tang Clan. Yeah, man. They did a good job.
HNIC Ninjas.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I watched all of that, and it was all right. At first, I was going to do a review, and then I was just like, fuck it. No, I'm not doing a review.
I know. Well, we should do a review on the last season of the Boondocks, because they just should not... They shouldn't have done it. Like, they should just left it at season 3, because there was good shit, but then, like, there was no... It just ended after 10 episodes.
Yeah.
They didn't even resolve, like, their situation with them being basically indentured slaves or whatever. Like, it just ends, and that's it. And
wow.
It's too bad, because it's like you want to go out on a high note, and the show just didn't do that with this last season.
They overstayed their welcome. That should have... You remember when everybody was talking about the Boondocks years ago? They should have just stopped then and just ride that shit out. It's that money. It's the money. Mm-hmm. Everybody trying to get...
And you could tell that Aaron McGruder wasn't a part of it. Like, I didn't even know when I had started watching it, because I didn't even know I didn't know when it had dropped, when it had started, when the episodes had started coming out.
I still haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, a friend of mine was like, yo, you should check it out. And I was like, all right. So I went and started watching it. And I was like, the first episode was all right. You know, it kind of felt like a return to form. Then the second episode where they actually sign away, when Granddad signs away, you know, their freedom. And I was like, what the like the whole episode felt off. Even some of the jokes were still funny, like when they kept making references to Good Times and they had the theme music playing and everything. That shit was funny, but the whole episode fell off, and then from then on it never felt right. So I went back and was telling my friend, like, yo, something's off with this show. And then he told me that Magruder wasn't part of it anymore, and I was like, oh shit, that's really what it is. Like, he must have really added, like, I mean, obviously he added that sense of reason to the show, and, you know, to counter all the outlandish shit that was going on.
Yeah.
Because even from like the first season is still my favorite season.
Yeah.
Even though the animation got better and better with each season, the first season is still my favorite because it felt the most like the comic strip where he was actually trying to say something.
Well, it was more about Huey.
Yeah, that too.
Riley.
Yeah, and then the second season on, it was about Huey. I mean, it was about Riley and Granddad's antics, and the messages took a sort of a backseat to all the comedy and outlandishness. Yeah. And
like the homies over home.
Yeah.
Do the home man.
Yeah, they didn't even do an episode about that either. Wow. The Stink Meter episode actually was... I dig the Stink Meter. episode.
What you gonna do now? Yeah. What you gonna do?
Yeah, the one in the last season was actually pretty good. There was a episode about hair relaxer and perm and all that, and that was actually pretty good because they actually like I mean, you just watch it and you'll see. I'm not gonna explain it because I'm gonna end up spoiling it. But you know, there's like a part in the show.
Do you know what channel? This is not a channel that.
Oh well.
Spoilers. People here don't give a shit about that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Huey was gonna in order to get their freedom back, he was basically making like a liquid bomb to blow them up, to blow up the Onceler son or whatever. And so he lied to Granddad because Granddad was like, "You better not be making a bomb, you know, and acting like a terrorist and all that." And so he lied and said that he was making a hair relaxer formula. And so Granddad was, how he was always dating people off the internet.
Yeah.
He ran out of his own hair product that he usually uses. So he went and went into the garage and used the stuff that Huey was making, and then he went to bed. And then the next day, he woke up, his hair was all long and luxurious. He had a full head of hair and everything. All his hair grew back, and he was like, "Oh my God!" Like he was like, "You've got a gold mine." So
you're trying to make it a business.
Yeah. Basically, and the person they're dealing with is an unsavory type. I forgot her. They call her like Boss something or other. I forgot her name, but Huey doesn't want to do it because it's actually a bomb, and he wants to tell her. But Granddad doesn't want her to know. He wants to sell it, make money, buy back his freedom. So she knows something's up. So she's like, "What is it?" And he tells her, like, this is actually if you let people put this in their hair, it will blow up and they could die. And she stands there. She sits there for a second, serious, stone face, and then just bursts out laughing, cracking up, because she doesn't care. She was like, "This product has this in it. This product has this in it. This product has hydrochloric acid in it." She was like, "These bitches don't care. They'll put anything in their hair as long as it makes it straight." And it's the exact truth.
Yeah.
If you ever watch the documentary Good Hair, it does. A lot of that relaxer stuff does have hydrochloric acid in it.
Yeah.
And
that's why they tell you only leave it on for such a certain amount of time, because if you do worse, it's gonna burn the shit out of your hair.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a funny way to throw in that that message, and it's true, and it's sad that it's true, but that was that was their little Breaking Bad episode, homage episode, and that was actually all right. Just I just would have rather not had a fourth season, just because of all the wrong shit they did.
Yeah, I don't know. At some point, I'll check it out. I've been really slow on that. I'm gonna I have a list of shit that I need to watch. Like, I still need to go and try and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's weird too because I don't really feel compelled to watch these shows because they didn't grab me from the beginning. Like, when I saw that dude from Buffy playing the first super in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then at the same time he ended up becoming a villain, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's like you can't just give us the one thing over the other. And then, like, on top of it, they turned him into Deathlock, and now he's, like, all villainous and shit. It's like...
Oh, so he's not even working with S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, he was. And then, of course, he wants to do his own thing, and it's all kinds of complications that just, in the end, they just wanted to have Deathlock as a villain. And, like, at first, he doesn't even look like Deathlock, but then there's, like, a battle mode where the shit comes over the side of his face. And
what was his powers originally?
Just, like, super strength and, like, durability.
I like how in the comics now, he looks like a normal dude with all the cybernetic shit on him.
That's how it is in the show. He looks like a normal guy. You can't tell until he's in battle, and then the shit actually... Like, when the battle mode happens, then you see the armor. You see the stuff over his legs and his arms and his face, like the little half helmet thing shows up. I don't know. I just wasn't impressed with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man. They got on my nerves with fucking Tahiti.
What?
It's a magical place. Yeah, I get it. It's something they put in his. It's like a post-hypnotic suggestion or some shit, or a programmed memory. You know, it's not something he actually did. But I don't know. They made me wish that Colton stayed dead, or Coulson stayed dead. Well, because like you think he was the catalyst for the Avengers becoming the Avengers, and now you brought him back to life. Don't you think, like, in a really real... I know it's not the real world, but I'm just saying, in a world with sensible people, they'd be like, wow, you faked your death. Fuck you. And I'm done. I'm going back to doing whatever I was doing beforehand. I'm not doing it this way.
Yeah, but the Avengers don't know yet that he's alive.
Captain America guest stars on an episode of the show.
Oh, he does? Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. They know. Freaking, what's her name is even there? Hill.
Oh.
Shit, Nick Fury shows up in an episode, one of the early episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's the only thing I'll give them props about, is that they're bridging the gap between film and TV and
I wasn't
movies.
sure they were going to do that.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, how are they going to pull this off? Nick Fury actually shows up and chews out Coulson. I was like, wow, okay. But anyway, yeah.
I wish we could see Nick Fury do more. Just CG him, like,
or double, fucking stunt double.
Make him super soldier like in the Ultimate comic books.
You know how many fanboys would just poop in their pants and shit all and piss all over their keyboards, and then email it to their to Kevin Feige. They'll be like, yeah, you guys, yeah, it'd be all bad for everybody. But I don't know. I don't know about that show. Hopefully it'll be. It gets better, hopefully, you know, because I don't get excited about this stuff anymore, and that it just feels like, I think because there's so much hype, it's hard to stay excited. I get tired of the hype. The hype is the one thing that kills it for me, because you have everybody just, oh, it's going to be great because they just talked about making it. Like what we were talking about, you know, in the beginning of the video. It's like they just told us that this stuff is going to happen. We know that the quality that they produce is good, but we don't have any idea what the story and all that shit's gonna be. And all these people, there are full channels dedicated to like trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Yeah. Dumbass, just wait for the fucking movie to come out. Like, you don't have to do all that.
Or just finding any little new detail or rumor that they can find, and then so they have an excuse to, make a video to talk about it.
Like Movie Pilot, that fucking channel that I went to because of Will's War, where like every fucking post is clickbait.
Yeah.
They'll tell you something and you're like, oh my god, that really happened? And then it gets to a point where you're like, wow, that's not even what the article is about. Or like what they say happened, doesn't even happen. Or I don't know. They were doing it with Batman and versus Superman, and that's when I unsubscribed. I was just like, every day it was something else. Bruce Wayne saves people on the set. Then you read the article and it's actually part of the movie. Like, then what? Or Affleck. They say Affleck saves people on set. Saves onlookers on the set of Batman versus Superman. That was one of the last ones I saw. And then you watch the video or whatever, and it's someone with their phone recording them shooting the film. And he's saving people there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why do you guys keep telling lies? And it's obviously to get people to watch, so. But, and, I can't take all the hype. That shit just gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I hate people who go to sets and then film stuff just to upload it on YouTube or whatever. Like, leave some of that shit for the movie so we can all watch it. I mean, granted, you have the choice to watch it or not watch it. I usually don't.
Yeah.
But, stop spoiling that shit for everyone. Because for some people, the temptation is too great and they can't control themselves.
The temptation is too great.
Yeah, Like it was like after when the Dark Knight Rises was about to come out and I saw what the bat looked like and shit. That's when I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna look at these things anymore, because I would have. I mean, granted, I wasn't impressed with what I saw, but I was like, you know what? There's gonna come a time where I'm gonna see something that I am gonna be impressed with, and then I ruined it for myself. So I'm just not gonna do it no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. sometimes when I'm bored, it's fun to look at that stuff. But when when they give away everything,
it's like there's already like 3 different videos or vignettes or whatever where they're showing shit from Age of Ultron. That shit doesn't come out till next year.
Jeez.
Like there's a and I'd read about this one by accident because there's a part where everyone's trying to pick up Thor's hammer.
Yeah, I saw that already.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Then there's like 1 or 2 other videos that deal with the movie, and I was like, damn, because somebody's telling me about it today, and I was like, damn, I can't believe they're just showing people all this shit, not waiting.
Well, because the way they gauge if the movie's gonna make $1 billion is if they leak things and pretend like it got leaked by some unknown force, and then they sit back and watch what the internet's reaction is to it, and you know how it is.
But I mean, that's what the movie screeners and all that shit were for.
Yeah, that's not enough anymore. People want their information like this, so everything has to be instant gratification. So it's got to be now. And Marvel is real good at throwing out these crumbs to their ravenous fan base because these cats don't understand the concept of just wait. I mean, because from the minute that the trailer leaked until the movie comes out is going to be a steady stream of rumors and all kinds of shit, even though none of these folks really know what's going to happen, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't play into it anymore. I used to, but not anymore. I gave up. I'm just like, whatever. If it shows up and it's cool, then I'll watch it. If not, I guess I won't watch it.
Yeah, I'm not even watching any more trailers now.
Yeah. Well, you can't help it when you go to the theater.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm not gonna, like, if, how they usually, they give you the date, like, it's gonna pop up on the internet on such and such date, like, I won't be tuning in to watch it.
Remember the days of not knowing and it just popped up and you're like, oh shit, they're making, like, Blade.
Yeah.
One of my friends called me from New Jersey. We were living in Indianapolis, and he called me. It was one of the cats I went to high school with. He called me. He was like, "Did you see the trailer for Blade?" I was like, "For what?" He's like, "Blade." I'm like, "The guy with the Jerry curl and the wooden sword."
Yeah,
no. And he was like, "Yeah,
the green goggles."
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, him, but no." He was like, "They completely made him like serious, and Wesley Snipes is playing him." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, man.
And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna see that like 10 times." And I definitely saw that shit at least 10 times. 5 in the regular theater, and about 5, maybe more, in the dollar theater.
I never even saw the trailer. I didn't see the movie until we went to go see it.
Really?
That freshman year, because I didn't even know they had made a movie. When someone was explaining it to me, and I was like, I couldn't believe it, because I was like, that character's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like, why'd they even...
Yeah.
And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people talk about Marvel's success, with this, cinematic universe. But, the success actually started with Blade.
Yeah.
Like, everyone fucking overlooks that shit all the time.
Yeah.
First it was with the Raimi Spider-Man movies. And then
first they said it was X-Men.
Yeah. And nobody talks about Blade, and all 3 of those movies, even the terrible fucking horrible third one,
It doesn't exist. What are you talking about? There is no third Blade movie.
Yeah, man. Even that shit made money. And
yeah, it made more money. I think it made more money than X-Men, one of the first 2 X-Men movies, because the first 2 X-Men movies didn't make much money.
Yeah.
Well, they made a lot of money, but not as much as people think, if you want to talk blockbusters. Because, Blade was a sleeper hit.
Yeah. It's crazy because, and I know there's some cause for worry with the Black Panther movie as opposed to how they're going to do it and what kind of care is taken with it. But, you had a successful movie with Blade, and they handled it just right. As long as one of the greatest things about the first Blade movie was the fact that he was a vampire hunter that just happened to be black. They didn't focus on the fact that he was black. They focused on the fact that he hunted vampires, and there's a whole reason behind why his life revolves around that. And they can do that same thing with the Black Panther. Obviously there might come a time here and there where they have to talk about Africa and Wakanda and all that. So they have to shed more light in explaining that country and everything. But as long as they treat it like like a superhero and treat him as a character, as a person, and not a person of not a person of color. So in the negative sense, then the movie should work. They should have no problem making this a blockbuster and introducing this character to a bunch of people who don't know anything about him.
Yeah. It makes sense. God, I think this is going to have to be an off the brain. I just realized we hit the hour mark and we've been jumping from thing to thing, and it's like, yeah, maybe this is like the good old days when we used to do it when we first started and it was just you and me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see if they're gonna have the Panther take down the Avengers, being that like
he did with the
Fantastic Four. Yeah. Like I want to see how he handles that, and I want to see is Wakanda gonna be is it gonna be the modern Wakanda that's like supreme, like you just can't come into Wakanda and talk about you want some shit, like you just can't do that. You can't do that in Wakanda. It's like it's invitation only, and if you just made your way over there, you're going back. Wherever you came from, you're going back.
Yeah, they definitely need to do some flashbacks to like his father and how Nazis tried to infiltrate and they killed the Nazis and hung their heads on pikes.
Yeah, man.
There's a warning to anyone else.
And they did the same thing with the Skrulls.
Yeah.
Oh, this is something. I think LL Cool J is playing Luke Cage.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, why?
I saw on...
Why? Why did they get Diggle? God damn it.
Well, because he's Diggle.
So?
You know how it is.
He's just a dude. He's not a superhero.
He's in contract with DC.
Fuck. So. It's not like he can't... Man.
Yeah, it is.
God damn it.
Don't let your inner fanboy take over.
God. I hate LL Cool J.
So do I. We were just making fun of him just a few minutes ago. He didn't get to desecrate Blade, but he's going to do it with Black Panther. But, this is the thing, though. It's been so long since, between when he wanted to be Blade and now. And he's done so many other things. Maybe, just maybe, the way that Marvel makes their films, they can direct him better. So that he can't do his usual bullshit,
There was another dude that wanted to play Cage.
It was Isaiah Mustafa. The dude.
No, not him. I know. Yeah, the
Old Spice
guy. Yeah, not him. It was this other dude, and he was fucking jacked. He was.
You talking about the guy who was he a stunt person?
I can't remember his name, and he had a couple of videos on YouTube where he's thanking fans because a lot of fans were pulling for him.
Yeah, he's a stunt person. He's the dude that was Wesley Snipes' stunt double in the movie that doesn't exist.
Huh?
I mean, he was a stunt double in a couple of the Blade films.
No, not that guy either. God, I forgot his name too. This other guy is huge. I mean, he's huge. Like, he's bigger than LL. Like,
wow.
Like, he would have been, like, if, I don't know how his acting is, but he could have been at least the look. He had the look for Cage. I just don't remember what his name is. Man, that really sucks. There's so many other people you could have chose for that than LL.
Yeah, LL is kind of a... He's whack. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Like, he was a legendary rapper in the 80s, but shit, he's whack now. I don't know. I don't care. Because I honestly am going to be one of the last people to watch this Netflix shit. I wanted the Netflix lineup to have been like Moon Knight, fucking, Shang-Chi, freaking Doctor Strange, freaking, like a Ghost Rider or something else, or even The Punisher. I hate Iron Fist with a burning passion. I've never liked that character, and I hate the fact that he was, how do I put it, him and Luke Cage should have been in one show together, and in that show, he would have been almost a supporting character, because Luke Cage always took the spotlight. But over the years, they've made Iron Fist almost like A-list because they've tried to push him so much. He showed up on cartoons, and he's in video games, and Cage has only been in a handful of games. So, 3 that I can remember off the top of my head. The 2 Ultimate Alliance games and Web of Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he was in Rise of the Incarnates. I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The fighting game.
Yeah. God, that shit was horrible.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm depressed. I am, man.
Sorry.
They could have chosen so many other people.
Yeah.
He's not even... I wouldn't even use him as an excuse to say, oh, well, it's name recognition. Like,
well, yeah.
Not that big of a name.
Well, technically. I mean... people know who LL Cool J is. I just, like, for Cage, Luke Cage, it would have been nice to have a black actor that has a real name.
And can act.
Like, yeah, like LL Cool J is playing, that's just as bad as TJ Laser playing, whatchamacallit, McGinty, remember?
Yeah.
Like, come on, TJ Laser. Like, that's really your stage name? Like, you couldn't come up with anything better than that? TJ Laser.
That sounds like something straight out of the 80s.
God
it's
damn.
Laser time!
I know, right? Put on your 3D shades. God, TJ Laser. And then LL Cool J. They should be like a team. It should be TJ Laser and LL Cool J. That would be awesome. Then you wouldn't be depressed.
Mr. Punisher, sir.
Mr. Punisher, sir. He said, please, don't kill me, Mr. Punisher, sir.
Get in his free flow crew. That name.
McGinty, man. That dude. And he's like black as hell.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny, man, McGinty. I mean, not to say that I know the history.
Black Irish.
Yeah, but it's just funny that he was who he was. And he was so proud of himself for jumping off of rooftops and shit. Like, oh, that movie is so great, and so many people don't get it.
Yeah, I know, man.
It's so sad.
Warzone was pretty good.
It's so sad. Oh, we need to see John Wick.
Yeah, we do.
We need to see that shit.
Yeah. I even want to see The Equalizer. I know you hate Denzel, but
I just think he's overrated. But I heard that he's not playing his... It's not the Denzel...
It's not him showing up playing himself.
Yeah. They're making him like he hardly talks. And it's more reserved. He's playing more of a character than what he usually gets.
I didn't even realize that was Hit Girl as the chick. I totally did not notice that.
But they need to chill with that shit. She's still young, like way young, and they're still making her play roles that are where she should technically be older.
Yeah. And
it's like, come on.
Yeah, I forgot what the reasons why she said she might not do Kick-Ass 3. Like, I don't get it. Like, even my friend at work brought this up because he was saying, like, I don't get why she's talking about, the sexualization of her character, but then she turns around and plays a prostitute in another movie. I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of hypocritical. Well, it is hypocritical.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
You gotta expect that shit. I don't know. Whatever.
Damn it, LL's gonna be Luke Cage. Fuck, man.
Oh man, sweet Christmas. You know who I wish got the role because he wanted to is freaking that's our boy
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. He wanted to be Luke Cage.
Yeah.
He would have been the perfect Luke Cage.
I would have taken that over LL.
Because I could actually hear him say "Sweet Christmas" and it wouldn't be. Yeah. It wouldn't sound stupid coming from him. It would actually sound funny, like he's intentionally saying something kind of dumb because he likes it, as opposed to like he's written this way. I don't know.
It's funny how he always gets like roles that he should be that he gets passed up for.
Yeah, all the time.
Somebody else ends up playing that role.
All the time. Like he should have been the one and only Roadblock choice, period. Even the concept artist chose Terry Crews for his Roadblock. That's what we based it on. And they threw in a rock. corny ass Rock. Like, seriously, man. In the mortal words of Jay-Z. Shut the fuck up, man. The Rock makes me so angry sometimes. And I'm glad he's Black Adam. It'll just make me mad, though, if they choose someone like John Cena to play Shazam.
He should have been Shazam.
Like, yeah, I know.
He's got the Kool-Aid smile and everything.
And all that. Yeah, it would have worked. But that means they would have to pick another... They probably didn't do it because Jason Momoa is going to be Aquaman, so they didn't want to have... You know, you can't have too many Polynesians in that movie. God, if you think about a group that's been passed over, holy shit, I didn't even think about that. Like, when was the last time you saw a movie that did not take place in Hawaii that had Hawaiians? Or any of the Polynesian islands that had Polynesian people in it at all? Good God. There's a minority of minorities. Yeah. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. But, I don't know. I'm kind of glad, though, some of these choices. I'm glad that they're making... I'm glad as far as the movies go. We're seeing some of the choices, and we're seeing some of the characters that we are getting a chance to see. Like, I'm glad they're finally doing this stuff, you know? Because I didn't think they were ever going to change Aquaman from being the generic blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy to freaking, you know, a Polynesian dude. Like, what the fuck? It actually makes a ton of sense. That means they could make the Atlanteans all some varying degrees of Polynesian, you know? That would have been dope. Because I always pictured Atlantis kind of like the Atlantis in the Disney film, where the people looked kind of either like Mayan or something else, you know what I mean? But not the Greeks. It's not Greeks underwater. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I saw, what I pictured in my mind. And you know, I always have to put this out there because there's always some jackass in the comments that'll say, "Oh, you're racist." I love all the diversity that we have on this planet. You know, I'm an artist. It'd be stupid. It's like me having a box of crayons and I only use one of them. Yeah. You know, all those colors and the differences, man. Shit, I love women, and I've seen so many different types of women, mixtures of women, and I'm just like, my God, this exists, and it's dope to me. So it's not even a question of me liking one group over another. Everyone's cool until you fuck up with me. When you fuck up and you start being ignorant, then you suck and you're a non-entity. That's it. You know what I mean? But as far as people go, yeah. Yep. You're done, son. Like, that's when it's a problem. But as far as just, you know, looking at the variations of, you know, hair colors and eye colors and complexions and blah, 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 and nose and facial structure and shit all across the world, it's fucking amazing. And I don't understand why people that create can't utilize this more often, you know? And I gotta give the team that's making these new DC films, I gotta give them props because their Justice League doesn't look automatically like what we've been seeing for years. Yeah. I mean, they might operate like them because they're gonna be powerful as fuck, but they're, you know, shit, the guy they picked to play the Flash in those films, he's gay. And there was this big uproar because they're saying, how are you going to have a gay guy play a straight guy in a film? And I'm like, but you've had straight guys play. Oh my God,
I guarantee you those same guys saying that dig the Harold and Kumar movies where Neil Patrick Harris is banging prostitutes and shit.
Yeah, yeah. And because they probably don't know or they don't want to listen. But it doesn't matter because that's one aspect of that person's character, and if they're a good actor, it doesn't have anything to do with their acting. I mean, shit, in reality, they're an actor, so it has nothing to do with who they are and how they play the role that they play.
People are stupid.
So yeah, but the fact that the diversity is it's getting to that point is dope because it reflects the world that we live in.
Yeah, shit, that's a leg up on the Avengers. I mean, the Avengers cast is all mainly white
and male. Yeah. Except for the Black Widow.
Yeah.
And of course she'll be somebody's love interest. I was like, it's kind of funny to me that people are like, yeah, it's interesting that the Hulk and Black Widow are having some kind of a, you know, thing. I'm like, but she's the only girl on the fucking team. Like, that's kind of bad writing if you think about it. You say you wrote a strong a strong female character, but then you turn her into someone else's girl just because she's the only female around. Like, really? Where's Betty? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but we'll see how it all turns out. I still think it's bad writing for me when you have a team and then the token female she gets passed around. That's not cool. It's not cool. I'm sorry. I'm calling it how I see it.
Damn. When you think if the Hulk gets it, like nobody's gonna want it after that. Like damn, man, shit is all wore out.
Smash. Yeah, that's not even right, man.
Don't let the Hulk go first.
That's wrong, man. Damn. That's so wrong. Jesus. Jeez.
You started it.
So wrong. No, I Jeez. Oh, man. It's like the line. And Phil has super jumped the line. God. But, no, I still think that's lame to me. I think it's pretty damn lame. But whatever, people see it, and I'm pretty sure they can do no wrong. So, and also since Josh Whedon has been, he left Marvel. It's even more legacy.
Yeah, big mistake Marvel on that.
Yeah,
fucked up.
He'll be back though, because they'll pay him like $1 billion, like they're doing with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I know.
He's pimping the hell out of Marvel and Disney, because he keeps on saying, yeah, I'll do it, but I would like to do it, but I want
that
more
$100
money.
million, man.
I know, give me the money. and they're like, we have no more money to give you. Then I just won't do it. Fine, here's more money. Yeah, I mean it's strange. That's what it all boils down to. But I'm trying to think.
Well, even if Downey goes and makes like movies that don't even do that well anymore, like he already made his retirement money and then some.
Good God, yes he did. Holy shit! And then like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of a lot of those other films. Like, I don't like. I'm not gonna go see the Judge, I think is what it's called.
Oh yeah.
It looks boring as fuck. I'm not gonna go see that shit. And I'm sure most people, they're gonna go see it just because it's him.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say like, oh well, I was expecting.
It was good for what it was.
Yeah. I hate that critique for what it was. It's a fucking movie. What else was it supposed to be? You know what I mean? You go to see a superhero movie. Oh, it's good for what it was. It's a superhero movie. What is that supposed to mean? Like, say something. You know what I mean? Don't just throw out these random things. Say something about it. Give us a critique. That's like the dude who said in my video about racism in comics and stuff, that you make some good points. And what did he say? He said I
used some words wrong.
I used some words wrong, and some of the things I said, even though my what did he say? Even though my points were factual, I said some things that were I had a clear and strong argument or something, or God, he said it's something saying pretty much what I said was factual. I said things that were factually wrong. I was like, wait, how could it be factual and then be factually wrong? Like,
and then you not point out what it was that you said.
And I told him that too. I was like, yeah, thanks for the backhanded compliment, But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's funny. There's a lot of things I know, but I still don't know. Especially when it comes to like the internet and fans and blah, blah, blah. Like, I understand what's going on. I just don't get why are you even bothering with some of this stuff, It's strange to me. Yeah. Yeah, man. Sometimes I'm just flabbergasted with the stuff that happens, because it's weird, because as these announcements keep popping up for the different Marvel films, you keep on seeing more and more of that or it's not even infighting, but the back and forth between the ones who like the DC stuff and the ones who like the Marvel stuff. And some people are starting to get it because I see more people saying, okay, you like this, I like this, so what? Go watch what you like and let me watch what I like. It makes sense because they're movies. It's not like you don't get any of those millions that Robert Downey Jr. is getting. Like, come on, stop dick riding for the sake of dick riding. Yeah, you like the shit, you like it. Good, let it be like that. But don't just say stuff is good and fight for the sake of fighting. Fighting for no reason. It just, I don't know, it just seems stupid, and it's one of those things that keeps on happening. I'm glad it seems to be lessening, but it's not lessening to the degree that it needs to.
Because everybody's focused on Gamergate.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Another nonsensical argument that people just need to leave that shit alone.
Yeah.
Fucking worry about your own life.
The sad thing is that shit made national, like, it got national attention, and you know, you guys are arguing so hard, but you have no idea how stupid you all look to everyone else who's on the outside looking in.
Well, it's like what you were saying, and I meant to do this on a separate video, but I'll do it now. So it's your net neutrality video. Yeah. So many people have no fucking clue. You look at if you do a search for net neutrality on YouTube, and you're gonna get like a handful of videos. And it's strange because you think more people, you know, everybody's so tech savvy, everybody's so up on the latest trends and shit, but they have no idea this is going on, but you want to bitch about who's going to play what role in this movie, or which comic book company is better at making movies. Like, what?
I don't like Anita Sarkeesian.
We already know she's a fuck up. We know she took your money and you willfully gave it to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we get that. But, like, this shit, net neutrality is important. You got to know what's going on because it's going to affect you whether you know it or not. And no one's focused on it. You guys need to go watch Agent O's fucking video. For real. He didn't pay me to say this either. I'm telling you.
I got no money to pay you.
You do need to watch that video. It's true. Like, shit, we're working poor. But you need to see the video. You need to understand what that shit is.
And what it's going to mean for you, the consumer.
Exactly. Because, like, a lot of times, you know, people make videos and they do shit because they know that the audience is going to react a certain way and it's going to give them a certain amount of views. Mm-hmm. But they're not making videos about things that actually affect you in your day-to-day life.
You guys are too busy watching fucking...
Petey Pie.
Yeah, and Cinema Sins and shit, and arguing about that shit in the comments, knowing that some of those sins he's doing is just to get you guys riled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Petey Pie. I can't believe that motherfucker makes money.
Yeah. I've never watched any of his videos, so I don't know what he's about.
I watched a couple after I saw I shouldn't even say a couple. I watched through one when I watched the episode of Game Theory where they explained the whole YouTube thing, how you make, who the person who makes the most money on YouTube was, the top YouTubers and whatever, and how they make so much money. And they explained his whole situation because he's pretty much, his channel and his fan base is in between two nations because he lived in one place, got all his fans there, but then he moved to another place, not, I think, across the water from the previous place. So his channel, or somehow one portion of it is housed here, but people from the new place where he moved to, they know him there, so they watch that stuff too. So it's like two huge groups of people in two different places. You know, they're aware of who he is, they know his presence, and they're kind of adding to his, you know, base, his you know, subscriber base or whatever, and he's making so much money between the two. I'm just like, man, all you do is you scream and you make really bad jokes while you play video games poorly. I mean,
all the don'ts in as to why I don't watch Let's Play videos.
That's why I don't watch Let's Plays
either. The trifecta. Right there.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch Let's Plays either. I can't really focus on them. I'm trying to watch because I want to see how the game plays, but then the guy's talking over it and breathing heavy and shit. And I'm like, okay, this is distracting. Sometimes I'll even turn it down, but then you notice they're not even doing a good job playing the game.
Yeah, man. I watched this dude. I'm not even gonna say who it was. He was playing that new sniper game on the PS4 and Xbox One.
Sniper Elite.
And there was this guy. He got caught. Well, he got spotted or whatever. And he was standing like 10 feet away from a dude who was coming out of like a building. And this dude tried to snipe him from 10 feet away with a sniper rifle instead of switching to one of his other weapons. I'm like, really, man? You're going to do that at 10 feet away from somebody with a sniper rifle? Go through the whole motion now, but slows down as it zooms in, as he's concentrating on the shot. I was like, you didn't do all that. The guy's standing that far away from you. Like, that fucking moron.
Yeah.
Like, at least play through the stage a few times and then take the best take out of that one and use that as your video. Don't show me, like, your worst fuck-ups. Like it turns into a fuck-up compilation of your game playing.
Now, I will say, there are a couple people who I respect their opinions and they actually can play, and that I'll watch. And I shouldn't even say a couple. Maximilian is one of them. I've watched a lot of his videos because over the years,
yeah, I've watched a few of his too.
He points out shit that's new, like that you're actually interested in, and a lot of times he doesn't only play the games. He talks about stuff that's relevant to the history of the game or, you know, the development of the game. It's the kind of shit like we talk about, except he'll have footage. I don't even know how he's allowed to do that because everyone else is getting shut down for doing that kind of shit. So he must have pull or some kind of, like, you know, agreement with some of these companies. But that wasn't a fart. Once again, that was the chair. See? But I watch his videos because I like his commentary sometimes, and he's decent. He's a decent player. He's an old school player, so he's not, you know, you suck, even though you just beat his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's today's gamers. You aren't really that good anyway, but I was good enough to whoop your ass. So obviously I'm better than you, so stop talking shit and just take that L. You know what I mean? Like, but that's not how people act, you know, and he encourages people to, you know, get better, get your skills up, and even if you lose, you learn something, and that's the way it is. And people are respectful when they play him for the most part. I know there's been videos where people tried to, you know, get all trill and shit, and it's like, really? But I watched some of his videos.
There's another dude too. I can't remember what his name is, but he's one of the two people playing Killer Instinct that hit like 200 and something odd number hit combo. I forgot what the fuck his name was. I sent you the video, but I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, he's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I haven't watched many of his other videos, so I can't tell you like how he is like when he's talking.
I know who you're talking about though, because he's one of the people. He posted some of the themes for Killer Instinct, so I got to hear some of the themes like early on when the game first dropped on his page. The other person I watch is Angry Joe. Because sometimes he says exactly what I fucking feel. Yeah. Sometimes he's a little bit too, like, these days you have people who are a little too pro-nerd to the point where it's annoying. And it's like, you know, you can hump your girlfriend. You can have a job and, like, you know, read books about other shit than nerd topics. You know what I mean? You can still like video games and not devote all your time to it. You know what I mean? And what I dig about Joe, though, is that, like, he does have a girlfriend, you know what I mean? And his girl's not busted either. So, you know, he actually is trying when he's not doing his show. He's a regular person. Not like a lot of these motherfuckers online that just, this is it for them. Once YouTube shuts down, they're fucked. Because nobody's paying attention to them. Like that one dude, the big dude, God, what is his name? Boogie? You know what I'm talking about? The fat guy who, like, when his Xbox had the Ring of Death, I think that's how he got famous. His Xbox had the
you're talking about Boogie? You know, he's married.
No.
You're talking about the guy who plays Francis.
Who's
Boogie? He talks like this. He's a big guy and he's got, you know, he wears glasses and he has that Francis character who's like a super nerd.
I don't know. I never watched it.
I don't watch it because I hate that character. Like I watch his other. Sometimes I watch his other videos where he's talking as himself. He's like Boogie 39 something something something. Or whatever.
You might be right.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's married. He got married recently, but like sometimes he speaks sense.
Everything I've ever seen of him, and it's always been on other people's videos, it was him just raging like a fucking moron.
No, that's the character. That's the Francis character he's playing, and he's doing that on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, he said he wanted to create a character that.
I didn't know that.
It was a parody, but he wanted you to hate him from that character from the moment you seen him.
Oh, because this is what the mainstream game sounds like.
Yeah. But yeah, his other videos where he's like actually talking sense.
Well, I saw one where I totally didn't. I saw the only video I saw of his. It was someone linked to it, and I was just like, ugh, it doesn't make any sense. I can't remember the gist of it, so I'm not even gonna, try to, recall it now. But, yeah, I guess I didn't know. I only know of the only version of him I knew of was the version of him playing. I didn't realize it was him playing the character. Sorry, you succeeded.
But see, that's the thing. I didn't think it was, because I saw it at first and I didn't know that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I read about it later and I was like, okay, I see now, but it wasn't
obvious.
Yeah.
It wasn't obvious at all. But yeah, I don't generally watch Let's Plays and shit like that from many people. Like Angry Joe, what I like is that like he actually reamed Seth Killian at a freaking, convention.
Yeah.
Because Capcom said, we're gonna do this, and this with the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. We're not gonna do this. They said we're not gonna release another version of the game 6 months after the first one, and that's exactly what they fucking did. And he asked them to their faces, and they tried to deny and blah 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 and say they never said that and whatever. And Joe stood up for all those folks that we see this bullshit, and he hasn't come off of that yet. That whole like Capcom has to pay.
Yeah.
He's still on it, and I like that. I like the fact that he sticks to his guns for the most part. Like he's reaming Bungie about Destiny, because Destiny is it's a game chock full of lies. There's a lot of things they told you that the game was gonna do that it doesn't do, and there's a lot of issues that they said they would fix that they haven't fixed, and it's like, oh, it's next gen and it's still missing these core things, and Joe actually stands up to that.
Story.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I like that, and those are like two of the only ones I really watch. There's a couple that I used to watch years ago, and they all disappeared because I guess maybe they got fed up with YouTube, and I kind of feel like that these days too. I'm getting fucking content ID matches for images that I used in my videos. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
And that should be what is it?
Fair use.
Yeah, fair use. Yeah.
So I'm just.
But I mean, I've heard with that whole Zoe Quinn thing with Gamergate, one guy got flagged because he used a picture of her, and by her though. I heard it was by her. I don't know how true that is, but.
Well, she has to be flagging people a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think it was a screenshot of the game that she's making right now.
No, Depression Quest.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a screenshot of that, and she flagged the guy. I think probably because the guy was talking negative about her. But yeah, like you shouldn't be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be allowed to flag people for images.
Mm-hmm.
You have like contemporary art where part of that is using imagery that already exists,
mm-hmm.
and you don't flag those artists for that. You don't sue them for royalty or copyright or whatever, because it's that's what those laws are there for. It's just YouTube is just weird with shit like that. It's like they just don't care. They cater to whoever is putting money in their pockets, and
that's what I was gonna say.
They don't cater to the people actually putting out content, helping you make your fucking money. It's stupid.
And it's not all across the board, because like you said, it's based on how much money you give them. or you bring in for them. So like you notice there's YouTubers that have videos that have like new songs in it, you know, that they clearly didn't make, and somehow it's okay for them to have commercials and shit on their videos and for them to have streams of revenue based on this, but people, you know, people like even Angry Joe going through the shit they were going through, you know, and Total Biscuit and all those other guys going through crazy shit because of that, you know, it's just stupid. Oh, the other two people I watch are Yahtzee and what's his name? Jim Sterling. Yeah. Every now and then I watch them play games because despite what they say, they actually are halfway decent at the games that they like. Like Jim Sterling's a beast at Dynasty Warriors. He says he loves the games, and you can tell. I don't love Dynasty Warriors. I only liked the first one. It's not even really the first one, but it was the first game with the name Dynasty Warriors, and it came out on the PlayStation 1. I still have it, and I still play it from time to time. That game is dope. But the rest of them, just, I don't give a shit. They're just not my thing. It's just boring. After you've killed your, like, 300th person, it's like, yeah, it doesn't really get any better. But, yeah, Let's Players, man, that shit needs to die. Those folks should be getting flagged, like, every second, getting content ID claims and shit like that, because they're not actually doing anything. They're not even creating any fucking content. They're just, you know, realistically, their creation of content is already, it's pre-existing. They just add the audio track over top, you know, and it's like, come on. It's one of the only ones that I'll say that, you know, next to those, what is it, ASMR, those videos with the sounds that are supposed to relax you and blah, blah, blah. Like, get the fuck out of here. I mean, I know it happens because I do listen to music while I create, so it's possible, but, you know, some of them are suspect because it's just a video with no explanation, no nothing, no person telling you what's going on. They just play some random sounds and you're supposed to be relaxed.
With the equalizer on the screen.
Yeah, I'm like, But, shit, I think that should about do it. Yeah. Yeah, it's late and I'm getting, like, my brain is, like, going in different directions, so I'm done. I think Agent O is done, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we will talk to you later.
Peace.
Peace.